Today I shall take a class on the critical analysis of Shelley's poem Hymn to Intellectual Beauty. This poem was composed by Shelley in the year 1816, or rather in the summer of 1816, while he was staying with Byron on the shores of Lake Geneva. In this class, I shall critically comment on the first 5 stanzas of the poem. Well, the first stanza deals with the transitoriness of uh, intellectual beauty. That is why the poet begins with this statement: the awful shadow of some unseen power floats, though unseen, amongst us, visiting this various world with an inconstant wind. It means that the power of intellectual beauty does not remain with mankind at all times, it comes and goes. Then he compares this intellectual beauty with a number of natural phenomena which includes rather the moonbeams behind some mountain shower, or clouds in starlight, or memory of music fled. Just as these things are inconstant, similarly intellectual beauty is also inconstant. It does not remain with mankind at all times. The poet says in the last lines of the first stanza that, like aught that for its grace may be dear, and yet dearer for its mystery. This means that the unseen power of beauty is dear to the heart like anything that is dear, because it is beautiful and lovely, and yet dearer because of its mystic and indefinable nature. The second stanza of the poem consolidates the transitoriness of the spirit of beauty. What does the poet say? He says, Spirit of beauty, that dost consecrate, which means sanctify, with thine own hues all thou dost shine upon, of human thought or form, where art thou gone? That means the poet wonders where the spirit of beauty, is gone. Why does not it remain among men? The spirit of beauty does not stay with man forever, and when it goes away, it leaves the world in a state of vacancy and desolation. Poet also states, why aught should fail and fade that once is shown? That means, why should anything that comes into this world be of such transient existence? That means the first 2 stanzas uh, describe the transience of intellectual beauty. In the third stanza, the poet says that the spirit of beauty is the only thing that can console mankind. That is why he says in this stanza, no voice from some sublimer world had ever to sage or poet these responses given. Therefore, the name of God and ghosts and heaven remain the records of their vain endeavor. This means that no philosopher or poet has ever found an answer to the questions which trouble mankind. So, in their attempt to find a solution to the perplexing problems of life and death, they have naturally resorted to the inventions of such myths as God, ghosts, and heaven. This means that religion is a poor substitute for the spirit of intellectual beauty. Poet further states, the poet further states that Thy light alone, like mist over mountains driven, or music by the night wind sent, through strings of some still instrument, or moonlight on a midnight stream, gives grace and quiet to life's unquiet dream. This means that the spirit of beauty can provide the only consolation to man and not religion with its dogmas. Huh. So, what does the poet compare in this stanza the spirit of beauty with? Music by the night wind or moonlight on a midnight stream. The fourth stanza states that man would be immortal and omnipotent. What does immortal mean here? That it does not mean that he would live forever, but that he would be perfect in his nature. In his nature, if only the spirit of beauty remained in his heart, and if the spirit of beauty remains in the hearts of lovers, then they would be mutually sympathetic to each other. That is why this line has been written, or the poet has written these lines as, Thou messenger of sympathies that wax and wane in lovers' eyes, thou that to human thought are nourishment. Let darkness to a dying flame depart not as thy shadow came, depart not, lest the grave should be like life and fear, a dark reality. What does the poet say? What does the poet mean here? These lines, like darkness to a dying flame, depart not as thy shadow came. Depart not, lest the grave should be like life and fear, a dark reality. The poet asks the spirit not to fade away before casting its shadow on humanity, lest it loses all hopes of immortality and the grave should be the end of human life. So, I have tried to make a critical analysis of the first four stanzas of this poem. The rest of the stanzas I will take up in another class. Thank you.